Hello and welcome to episode 229 of our SAP on Azure video podcast. Today is February 18th, and together with Robert and Goran, we are here to talk about anything related to SAP and Microsoft. Hello, everyone. So the last few months have seen an amazing evolution in AI. What started as a simple bot framework evolved to GPT-driven chatbots, to Copilot, to user interacting with agents. The latest step, like what we are doing together with SAP on the Joule and Copilot integration, is multi-agent integrations. CJ was on our show twice before to talk about his scenarios and demos leveraging Azure OpenAI, Teams, Copilot integration, and much more. So I'm really glad to have him back on the show to show us his latest developments. Welcome so much, CJ. So as said, you have been around here 2 times already, but for those of our viewers and listeners who don't know you, maybe you can quickly introduce yourself.
Sure, Holger, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So wherever you're dialing or you play this our podcast, welcome to podcast. My name is Jin Park, aka here Microsoft the CJ. I'm part of the Microsoft, the ASEAN, the CSAU, so where I'm helping that our SAP sellers, all other the data and AI teams, particularly, so helping that bring that their journey of the SAP with the Microsoft AI. So we are supporting that barriers of deal, helping that their POC, writing the quick the MVP level code, to helping that the adoption of the Microsoft AI into the SAP data. So like what the whole guy mentioned, that every day, wherever you directly involving that in AI journey, from the modeling or the how to consuming the data with the Copilot. As a person who dealing with that, the barriers, opportunity, direct request from customer, and every day is a big challenge. Every day, every week, you will hearing the new services that came out, new models came out from China, US. It's like a chaos. But however, I think like what the Holger and I discussed like today. So I want to wrap it up with that. Those are the episode where I was presenting that very first version of the how we starting that whole guy, me and Michael, all everyone. Hey, how we are able to consuming that SAP data throughout that the Microsoft AI. Now we are in the year 2025 where everyone calling that the era of the AI agent. Let me see what are the AI agent story can helping that SAP data. Okay.
And it's really amazing. I mean, I watched some of our the 2 previous episodes basically, and it's amazing how you were always at the very front, leading, testing, exploring new scenarios and bringing them in the context of SAP. So it was really great to see how you're playing with the latest technologies and you're delivering beautiful demos to customers. So it was really great to see, and I'm really looking forward now to see the latest things that you came up with now.
All right, thanks, Olga. I mean, as the person who came up from the SAP basis, like what everyone does, okay, it is not easy to converting the all of a sudden, with the help from the Copilot, writing the Python code is not easy. However, I mean, once comparing that the other data, like SAP data structure is more like we do have clear data source SAP data, which I'll be talking about. So I think it's a fun, but it's not easy. So I mean, person who came from the SAP ABAP basis, now you have to look at the Python code line by line, but it's not easy, but it's a fun. So I think what I'm quickly going through with you, Holger. So I'll be preparing that a couple of slides for the easier conversation, starting with a simple slide, which I like it most. Let me know whether you're able to see that.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So I think I want to start with that, wrap it up with our last year story, Holger. I think when the ChatGPT came out, and then we talk about like a stage somewhere, I would say that in here. Okay, so we know that ChatGPT Turbo Engine was there, and somehow like a GPT-4 was out. And then from the SAP tech person, SAP application point of view, hey, how do we able to get the benefit of GPT-4 mostly like API basis, okay? Not rather go down that how the model has been structured, how model has been pre-trained, etc., etc. Although like there's a lot of the hallucination, it depends on how your prompt it goes. More or less like last year, 2023, November, December, 2024. So we are mostly spend a lot of time with the this stage where we directly asking the question throughout the chatbot. Then we taking that API basis to generate the answer. Then something more like if we are advanced, so we are able to moving toward something called single AI agent, where we are able to get some benefit of rack, where you are able to placing your documentation into the shared point. Or if you are able to multi-challenging way, so you are able to taking that, for example, like a Mara, whatever the SAP transaction table from the HANA database throughout the application layer that you're landing with the Synapse, or you landing with the Fabric, or like you landing in the Azure blob as the first data source. Then after that, you do the data grounding. Then more or less once your data is ready, and then you giving the system prompt, hey, so now you are the sales order chatbot. So you're supposed to answer that ABC. Then you expected to answer with that one. Then you're not supposed to answer like that. Okay, so this is how we have been talking to that last year. We're still doing that stage between that chatbot and a single AI agent, where we have been creating the various demo throughout the all data, direct web application, or we're using that SAP ECC connector, whatever connectors we have from the data factory, then we actually ingesting data, we're landing with that our data lake. So this is where we are spending the majority of time since 2003, 2004. So Holger, we do have a lot of experience between here, right? So I think you have been creating the great demo of your sales order status, the chatbot, which I still remember. So we are actually able to write back with the data from the SAP, then we are able to do that. So I think, was it between user and chatbot, or was it your demo was the single AI agent, Holger?
Yeah, it's a single AI agent, I would say, but it's still fairly simple. I mean, it is impressive what you can do with this, but it's still a very simple single agent integration.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so I think there are pros and cons when it comes with that the single AI agent, like Holger, what you mentioned that. So it is easy to control. So basically, from the top-down point of view, or the bottom to the top point of view, only one agent. You're taking that X input, then you put that the Y input with the help from the Azure OpenAI API, still API. Then you are able to giving that either is a user instruction-based answer or the system-based answer. This is how it works. Now we are in a new world, something called agent AI, AI agent, autonomous agent. Now we live in the new world of AI agent. Okay, so which I'm going to bring there some of like our internal slide. So since the few months back, like the Microsoft, we have been launching the something called Azure AI Foundry. So within that, our Azure AI services, along the way of the helping that AI services, like previously, yes, the Azure OpenAI service is still there. So in order to helping that in a rack basis, enablement, so we also adding that AI search. And then now you will see that there's a new service, so what you call Azure AI Agent Services as a part of the AI Foundry. So if you remember the previous slide, rather than a single agent, where as a developer, I write everything starting from the system prompt. I need to specify that which model. So I have to reduce that temperature, all the TOP, etc. So this is still considered as a single AI agent where a lot of the manual effort is still required. But however, the Azure AI agent services, we call the micro-managed services. So simply, what does that mean? So from the Microsoft AI service point of view, so we will be giving that all the supported model catalog from starting from the GPT-4o, GPT-4 mini, all other model services where you prefer, if you prefer the Llama or Mistral, like Alpros, whatever the model which is available based on the customer's preference, Yes, you're taking this model as a services. You can choosing all the model catalog. And then what this the AI agent service can do is that actually it gives us the two main component, what it called the knowledge and action. So which means that simple way of the interpretation would that be knowledge is your data source. Okay. So simply either you can uploading your file from your local, or if you already having your Azure blob, where it comes with the vector store already configuring the vector index, so you are able to using your file as Azure blob. Also, the currently Azure AI search, where it's fully supporting the vector or the semantic the semantic the basic search is fully supporting the Azure AI search. Also, being search with the grounding, which is available. So along the way of this, the extension of the data source will coming soon. So you are able to reading the data from your SharePoint and also the Microsoft Fabric, which we talking about a lot of data ingestion, where the Microsoft Fabric is one leg will be your single data source. Then we are able to taking that Fabric as a data source under the knowledge, then it will be consumed by that Azure OpenAI AI services. Okay, this is a great help, which means that manually I don't have to write down that destination of my data source. Either you're using that managed identity or you're using that API keyboard, etc. No, it is not, or not necessarily. So simply you're using all the integrated connectors within the knowledge. So you are able to bring the data source into that the Azure AI services. Okay. Also, the one of things of what the good feature is that now is the action, which means that execution. So comparing the single AI agent, so multi-agent, which you have mentioned that, Olga, it is actually multi-agent. It will be executing that either it can be sequential or it can be parallel. So once a command or once instruction coming in, it will be triggered that multiple job throughout that the orchestrator. So those orchestrator job actually managing by that Azure function, which it is a fully supporting, and they're coming soon. So once we do have the Azure logic app, so where we are using that all the SAP connectors, which means not only we actually the reading the data from the this barrier source, so however we are able to triggering that right back to the SAP. For example, like apply leave and then creation of the sales order throughout that AI agent also possible. So this is a where latest the AI agent services under the Azure AI Foundry SDK, which is providing.
And that's actually really impressive, because if we look back like a few months ago, then all of these things needed to be done manually by you. So you needed to do a lot of development, right? And now, I mean, it started by that you were able to just to upload some documents, and then these documents were a knowledge source that grounded basically your model. But now, as you just outlined, it's getting much bigger. So it's Fabric, it's additional services like from Fabric, which obviously is very powerful. But then also when we look at the actions, it's much easier, or it's becoming much easier to just take a logic app flow that connects to your SAP system, or that leverages one of the hundreds of connectors that are available in logic apps to connect to third-party systems. And then if you describe these actions correctly, and I think that's where the magic now lies, where we need to learn how to best describe different actions, so that the orchestrator can identify, okay, if the user wants to create a leave request, if the user wants to create a sales order, if the user wants to order something from a supplier, that I need to call this specific action.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so I think from the SAP user point of view, okay, so those are the Microsoft, our customer who dealing with that SAP as a direct, indirect, all the Joule connection, whatever things. But fundamentally, SAP data, so we do have to clear the structured data, like from the SAP point of view. Either you can taking that from your CDS or the G table, or like if we frequently having that the all data. So this is going to be our data source, I mean, among us, like all the SAP customer. So what I'm quickly show to you, let's say that I'll be log on to something called Azure AI Foundry services. Okay, so this is part of the Azure AI Studio. Once you log on to the Azure AI Foundry, and then you do find out that something called Playground. So where now we also offering that something called Agent Playground. Okay, so this is still preview. So once you log in here, so I do creating the already some the agent. So same as that, you are able to play with that the GPT-4 mini. So this is the area. So it's still same as that you giving the instruction, or you can call it system prompt. So what interesting is that, so now in here, so something what have been explained here. So now you will see that there are two options where the knowledge and actions available. So if you click on edit, currently under the preview, so you only see the file where you are able to uploading your local file. Here, the Azure AI search, which is that supporting the vector. So let's say that I do have already creating that AI services search engine from other location where I already creating the index, which is the vector array. So where I can place it here. So which means that once you already having that the vector index, which you have been creating the other project, then you are able to bring that those are connectivity into that the AI agent services, which you don't need creating that duplicated services. So this is the way how it has been designed, and then the Bing ground will be available. So I think now currently, once you log on as a preview, then you only see the three options. So however, sooner or later, so you will be able to see that Fabric, bring your local license, and all the available from available here. And the other option, like a way we call it action. So this is where you will be executing the multiple tasks. Okay, so right now it is only supporting the code interpreter. So however, the Azure functions and then the OpenAI standard 3.0 and services will be available soon. Then you do the more option based on how they play. So the way I would explore, so I think there are two ways from Playground. So if you prepare that using the Azure portal, so simply you creating that agent. So for example, so I do creating that one Orchestrate agent here. So then same as that, the functions, okay? And then if you prefer that the different way, so this is all the Playground. So we are able to giving the instruction, then I'm giving the correct knowledge of what is your data source, and then you can figure out that. So simply what you can do, so let me just bring that, okay, one of the early agent. So along the way of the agent, so I think I have to explain to this concept. Okay. Okay, hold on. Go. Yeah. So this is where the Microsoft AI agent is actually working from the component basis. Okay. So sequence of the agent would be actually executing is that first, once you're using that Azure portal basis, Azure AI services, okay, this is the managed services. So Azure portal, the agent services will be creating that agent thread and run the agent and checking the run status, and then it will be responding that agent the request, which is from step 1, 2. For example, let's say that if I creating that agent name as an Orchestrate agent, so I giving the instruction, analyzing the SAP, you have the product data, blah, blah, blah. So I've been selecting the model, and then my data, I'm actually using that the Azure AI search with the vector store, and I'm uploading that the local file. The tools I'm using is that the code interpreter and the file search. Okay, and the sequence would that be once I executing that the agent step, then thread will be creating the manage the thread automatically, and the user message will be executing their run and run to as the multiple. So this is how agent will be executing services within the Playground, and then the manual way. So once this one has been started, okay, so I think this one has been explained to you. So I think Yeah, so I think this is how it looks like. So instead of the running that previously, once we're using that the single AI agent or the what it called the chatbot. So I think we have to manually. So we have to giving that converting that the natural language into the SQL. So however, this agent AI, which is using that Azure AI search, so it is running that the semantic search. So where it comes with that complete question, it is give us that the direct answer what it has been expected. So which is a much more better. So once I can do, so let me try to give. Okay, so let me just place that some simple question. Yeah, so I think once that you get.
So which products have high customer ratings?
Yeah, so those are the simple. Okay, okay, Pi does not. Okay, so I need to fix this one. So
Okay,
anyway,
this is a live demo, yeah?
Yeah, okay. So which yeah, so I think the go back to the agent playground. So those are information has been give us that throughout the agent playground, which I find out that this is a much more easy. So which in the play around. So what I expected from the product group. So once along the way of the right now is a preview. So when it comes with that the GA in a public preview, so I do expecting that something like other tools. So we do have option. Once we complete all the playground, I do expecting there's some button here in the deploy, and then we are able to publish into the Teams and other application. Okay, so I mean I found that this is quite interesting. So this is all services, right? Deployment, instruction, all the things which is quite easily I mean managing by that Azure AI the agent services, which is relevant easy. Okay. So next step, what I'm quickly show to you demo. So now you see that something called the managed services from the Azure AI services. Now, what I'm going to show to you. So let me show you that with the Azure AI SDK. So which is using the Visual Studio Code. So, okay, let me make it bigger. So at this time, so if you prefer that the complete end-to-end control from the code point of view, so this is where, so we're actually using that from the code point of view simply. So you have to using that Azure AI project, the AI project, the client. So where I need to specify that I'm going to using the code interpreter tool. So where previous screen, so you are able to adding that code interpreter as the action. So that one I need to define. And then one thing what I'm going to do as a developer point of view, so you have to writing that particular way. So this is where, so you do creating that. Okay, so basically for this at the AI project client, where am I using it? So I'm going to using that connection string. So where I'll be bring that the Azure AI services. And then along the way, so I need to specify that the model and then the agent name. And then you have to still giving the instruction. Okay, and followed by that. So this is the steps. So where you need to creating the thread, and then after that you are creating the message, and then so you will define that something called process of the run, where you need to process the run. So this is where you are able to using the from the SDK point of view. If we put hey, rather than using the playground. So from the playground point of view, you have been confirmed that yes, I mean, conceptually the way how it works has been working fine. And then, so this is where you're able to running that pullover from the Visual Code point of view. So let me quickly run my portal demos. Okay, so I'm going to starting that as a function.
And I mean, the beautiful thing here is obviously I can use GitHub Copilot as well directly, which can help me create and develop these solutions directly in Visual Studio Code.
Yep. So for your example, every my code, so without Copilot, I'm not able to write in the code. Okay. Okay, so now the backend, so as a function call has been available as the API.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, is it still?
It's a live demo. Okay.
Here.
Okay, so now
That's good.
function is up. Okay, so then let me just go to the here, just refresh. Okay, so simply what I've been creating there. So our famous, okay, our ES5. Okay, so
Yeah.
HT1000. So if you prefer the OData API URL directly, yes, you can do. So for this demo, right? So simply, in order to speed up the demo, so I've been converting this OData URL XML format into the JSON format. So I've got another logic to convert. But however, technically it's possible as long as you know that the OData URL, so you are able to calling directly within this agent. So assuming that this has been done, so my code here. Okay, so once I knowing that, so simply HT1000, then you will see that the this part is you'll be executing that. Okay, starting analysis.
Okay, now retrieving product and reviews.
Yeah, then I created a thread.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there's an error. Force error.
Okay, let me just doing this.
It's live debugging.
Yes, it's okay. You know, it happen at any time. Okay.
Restarting the Azure function. Okay.
Come on. Let's try again. Okay, just refresh. HT1. Okay, we choose a product review. Product analysis. Come on.
Create thread is stuck. See?
Okay.
No, there is an issue right now.
Yeah, I think this is the either cache. Okay. So from the backend point of view, okay, so yeah, so this is the backend log. So however, from the backend point of view, it's actually completed. Okay. So as you can see,
nice. Yeah.
So step here. So you actually, okay, let's just quickly, this is a way of using the print command. So you just, I'm not writing. So as you can see here, so he actually running that successfully. And then it has been created Orchestrate agent. And then it is creating the thread, it creating the message, and then the run state is actually completed. Okay, so this is what I expected. Okay, for demo point of view, let me just play that. Yeah, so yeah, so successful the demos. I think as you can see within the single screen, right? So it has been actually retrieving all the data, and then you run the analysis, and then it actually gives us that the positive summary and negative summary. It comes with a visualization as well, which means single thread. It actually triggering the multiple message, and then it comes with a response of product result, description, positive summary, which I found out that this is quite very amazing. Okay. So in order to helping that our customers are actually loading all the code into my GitHub. So it's the same thing. So starting from the user point of view, so once you creating the orchestrated agent, then this is my data source, model, functions, and then you are able to see that all the required technical component, the stack, how you are able to quantitate it. And then, so the magic is actually happening here. Yeah, so something which I've been explained to you.
That's nice. So everything is basically documented here as well. So
Yeah,
you can easily clone the repo, and obviously we will put the link in the description of our video, so that if anyone wants to try this out by themselves, they can just clone. And I just saw you have a nice installation guide there as well, how to get started. So it's very easy for customers to take a look and reproduce the scenario on their own.
Yeah, sure. So I think this one is actually local basis. I mean, it's not the production level of the code. However, it gives us the cool layer of the readiness of how you are able to using that Azure AI agent under the Azure AI Foundry services, where you are able to find out that how actually the agent is able to executing the multiple tasks. So within the Azure AI, which gives us a lot of the work which you can think about it. Okay, so that's the part of the what we call the Azure AI services. Something what I want to quickly share with you is that I think this is a lot of the I mean, not only for the SAP customer, they're also asking that. So right now, like what I have been showing to you is that actually Azure AI Foundry services where so all the agent is actually managed by the microservices. So you might wonder that, hey, how am I able to go further? It's a real the multi-agent, which is that orchestrating them together with the multiple tasks. Right now, from the Microsoft point of view, so we actually introduced the two per the agent framework. The first one is that the AutoGen. Now, since the version 0.4, so we changed the name is at AG, and then this is the great way of the orchestration of the multi-agent, which we call the real multimodal. And then once you heading for the production ready and the stable SDK, then of course the semantic kernel SK is a good way of the multi-agent. So what I'm quickly show to them next demo that being an auto agent. So you might see that how these are the AutoGen. So where we call the multimodal agent is actually helping that our SAP customer. So typical way of the customer care center. So let's say that you do have the limited customer care center. However, product complaint from the various lecture, it is coming with that, voice. It can be it can become through the call center. It can become through the email. You do have the barriers of like a touch point where all the complaint product review actually came from, but you do have the limited resource managing that. Those are complaint in the right way. So yeah, so my target point is that in our ES5 system, let's say that you do have the barriers in reviewing a complaint where you need to responding that your customer in a right time, the right way. However, simply you don't have time to comply in that all the compile all the complaint. You don't know how to respond. You don't know whom to instead. Like you've got no idea. So who is the right person? Check with that. So what I have been done, so this is something what we call the multi-agent approach where using the AutoGen. So let's say that person who is sitting at all the orchestration is that something called the proxy agent. So other way is as an orchestrated agent. Okay. Instead of the actual person, Isha manager or purchase read in customer piece. So we do creating that, another agent we call the multimodal combustible agent, where this agent is actually able to talking to orchestrate agent, which is a proxy agent. Okay. So of course, like there's definitely we need the actual person which is sitting at the behind. However, the way how the multi-agent has been designed is actually using that agent, where individual agent, so they will be talk with the proxy agent they by themselves, giving that the instruction. Okay, and then once that the complaint is coming, without the reaching that user manager as a last person as a human intervention, then this agent is actually talking to each other. Then they are able to find out that come up with the ideas of, okay, so based on this complaint, so what is the right way of the response? What is the correct method where that we are able to respond to the customer? So overall architecture point of view, so this is a bit of like the complicated, but actually it is working fine. So I think Service Center is actually able to launching that either you're using the web app or you come to the Teams channel. And then the between that, those are the Teams app, of course, we play the Azure board. Then we will be heading that place a couple of the Azure function as the AutoGen trigger, submit a complaint, save all the chat history. And then on the Azure AI, the subnet area, so we do enabling the speech to text in helping that audio detection. And then, of course, in the backend point of view, so we do creating that the OpenAI in the GPT-4o. And then, so this is area orchestration, which is production agent, is actually talking to the agent, product agent, purchase agent, customer agent. And then this agent is actually talking, so based on the given construction. And then whatever the chat, so these are the agent has been done, so it will be saved into the Cosmos DB as a chat history. And then it will be using that the data platform, data analytics later time is an actual person. So this is how it has been designed.
Which is fantastic. So I have lots of or several bots interacting, preparing the issue, coming up with solutions basically. But then as a last step, basically, there's a human in the loop, which then gets all the relevant information. And then the human can do either the next step or maybe the human is already fine with everything that the agents did.
Yeah, so I think it depends on the complexity of the complaint. Then anyway, the last person. So if we need the human intervention, so we will be adding the human intervention as the approve or the reject. But however, the logic is that so this is how it has been done. So I think from the simple screen point of view, so I've been designed on the left hand side. So I'm reading there is a real time all the product information from the ES5, and then either as the customer service agent, either you entering the product ID when you hearing the custom complaint, or if you just copy and paste from the complaint text from the dashboard, either you can copy the dashboard, or somebody left the voicemail while on the tone, so you are able to uploading those audio file, image file in here, then you're able to submit a complaint. Okay, so this is how it's been designed. And then, so okay, rather than complete demo, okay. So let's say that, so this is how it works. So I think, so once we having that, so I search for that, the complaint, and then it comes with that actually the complaint test. And then on the right,
you see the different agents interacting now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think what I'm trying to say, okay, let me just play the video once again. Okay, so just.
So yeah, so we start by entering the complaint information basically.
Yeah. So after the once you complain that the complaint either is a product ID or complaint text. Yes. So as the customer service, right, I quickly check with that whether information what customer has been entered is correct. So I'm able to quickly comparing on my left hand side. Once I submitted the complaint, and this agent is actually talking to that by themselves. They give us that from the customer point of view, this is my solution. And then from the purchase rate point of view, hey, this is from the user proxy point of view. So, hey, I have got this complaint. So, hey, agent, from the user managers, what do you think? Okay, so this is actually happening there between the auto orchestration. And then, so by end, so we are able to state that those information. Okay, for example, okay, so once you choose the product ID, and then even though there's what you call the custom audio file, you're able to upload it. And then once you submit, and then these are the audio file will be converting by the text phase, and then run by the agent. And then it should be come here. Where are you? Okay. So then it's able to hear. So from the code point of view, so I think back to your question. So this is how it has been decoded from the backend point of view. It's a bit of like complicated. So this is a where so I have been defined that the multiple agent, which is that definition of. Okay, so let's say that so this is a eShop managers. So it's the one portion of the multi agent. The other one, which is the agent for the custom officer.
Yeah.
So the other one is the purchase lead. So I'm basically running the three agent. Individual agent is being persona of the purchase, custom officer, and eShop managers. And then at the same time, the user proxy agent is actually the orchestrate agent, where user proxy agent is initiating that conversation between these three agents multiply. And then one thing in here, right, from the proxy agent point of view, so you are able to actually placing that either you want to placing the human input. So this is a way the human intervention is able to edit. So, okay, so whatever your agent generating the answer, I want to review it. Then you are able to place in the human input mode as the always, and then it will come with that the response. Okay, then you have to check. And then the mode what I have been done. So from the program point of view, so I'm adding that eShop manager agent, custom agent, purchase lead agent, poor agent. So you will be talking that 3 times. Okay, so then in order to get the right answer, rather than play ping pong between the email. So simply you guys get you agent, you're talking the 3 times based on the group chat, and then you come up with the right idea of how we are able to respond to the customer. Okay, so this is how it has been designed. And then, yeah, so this is more the information where I'm reading that all the API, which is realistic. So this is where, so those are the custom agent with audio file. Simply from the custom service agent point of view, so either you are able to add in the product ID directly, you are able to enter in the customer, the text, you are able to uploading that audio file as well. And at the same time, you check with that ES5 product as a real time. And then the AI agent will be generating that the answer, what you are able to, what you can give into the throughout the email, all the things. So this is the beauty of the multi-agent, which is happening that backend. So this is the output of the group chat, as you can see. So based on the problem statement, so the auto reply. So basically, they do communicating that. So they generating the answer to the orchestrator. So the product of the HT156, I do hearing that the overheating problem, battery life and display issue. So you're reading all the real-time information, product information, customer review, and then it comes up with ideas, which means that from backend point of view, this agent is actually talking. Okay. So this is a human being intervention is always, okay, we still need the human. So also whatever the response which the agent has been created in order to using that the data analytics point of view. So we storing that all the chat history in the customer DB, and then you are able to retrieving that what kind of the answer is actually generating by that this chatbot. 3 agent, and then you checking with that whether generate the answer is actually the correct, and then where you're able to replacing that whether this is sufficient from the AI generated answer point of view is sufficient to reply the customer. So this is a beauty of how we are able to using it. Something called the AutoGen based multi-agent, where indeed customer care, so you are able to placing the data from the SAP where you're running that the SLM, enterprise warehousing, but you do have the limited person. However, you still have got a lot of complaint from the different customer, from the mail, voice, but you have got really limited resource. So this is where the multi AI agent is actually able to helping that customer services, the heavy duty. So where we're feeling that our customer can think about, wow, indeed, AI agent is working fine.
No, and I like, the power of these multi-agent scenarios. Instead of having one big agent basically that tries to answer this, it turns out to have multiple very specialized agents, like in your specific case now here, the eShop manager, the purchase lead, the customer office, that these different agents can interact with each other. they discuss basically, and then the results are much, much better than just handing this over to one agent and ask, give me a solution. And with the orchestrator, yeah, the orchestrator can basically ask and play and interact with all these specialized agents, and then yeah, get a much more sophisticated answer back from these agents that in the end then can be displayed or can be the foundation for the human in the loop in the last step to then reply to the customer complaint, for example.
Yeah. So I think this is exactly where I find out that. So I've been running a couple of demo to our customer here in the Singapore office. Like, yes, they find out that this is a more the realistic for our SAP customer. So from the customer point of view, either you're using that in S/4HANA, BW, the EWM, you do have like the multiple the system. Let's say that whenever a customer complain, somebody have to checking that whether this is a true or not. So which means same time, say one portion as the orchestration agent, you're checking with that whatever complaint customers right now is actually true or not. So which you are able to quickly as a real time check with your ES5 system whether the customer complaints are correct at the same time. So you are able to copy and paste the customer complaint with the text, or you can directly enter the product ID, or you are able to uploading that complaint audio file while you are talking the phone call you're uploading. And then these are AI agents actually, like what you mentioned, that they talking to each other. Okay, so based on the defining the logic, so they do creating that best answer based on their given data, which I find out that this is quite amazing. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So I think cool. So this is what I have been quickly wrap it up with the 3 demo. I think somehow my live demo with the Azure AI agent is now working, which I'm trying to fix it later time.
That's okay.
But
things happen.
Yeah.
But
from the wrapper point of view, I think from the SAP customer point of view now, like every day, so the customer has been asking us, so okay, so now we still in the Azure, like the API basis, AI consumption, where I find out that some customer they still in a chatbot, difficult to controlling the answer. I mean, they see that there's a hallucination answer. However, I don't know whether from the agent point of view, I don't know whether Holger, have you heard that from Azure portal, do we see that like what other options like we available from our SAP customer? Like either, I mean, for me, I'm interested about the knowledge data source. Although we do have sort of like a local vector being, but I'm sure that we do have the other services where our SAP customer, they are able to directly using those service, right? I mean, from the product room point of view, do you see that any other options available from the particular SAP customer, Olga?
So I know that lots of additional data sources and knowledge sources are coming. I think we cannot talk about this yet, but I think we are already participating, or I'm also participating in a few previews, and I think this will become much more the standard that you'll have more ways to interact more easily with your SAP system, to connect your SAP system as a data source, similar like dragging and dropping a Word document today. You will be able to connect to your SAP system. As you mentioned with Fabric, that's another area where I see huge potential when the Fabric connection is there out of the box, because then all of a sudden you have all the data easily accessible to you that you have in your Microsoft Fabric, and exactly like what you're showing here. There are more and more of these knowledge sources, federated knowledge scenarios coming, which in the end will make individual agents much more powerful. And then in the combination, very much like what you showed, in these multi-agent scenarios, then you can have an orchestration that interacts with all these more specialized agents, and especially in the context of SAP, I see more and more things happening. I think what you're doing here right now is really showing the art of the possible and really showing some of these scenarios. I still don't think that even single agent scenarios, a simple ChatGPT, in a lot of cases makes a lot of sense for customers. But I also see that these more sophisticated, I mean, you showed there an example of employee onboarding, I think was one of the scenarios in the slides. If I look at supply chain, I saw recently another example with supply chain where multiple agents were really managing the supply chain operation, like checking quantities in a plant, interacting with suppliers, evaluating how to optimize the delivery to customers. So I'm sure we're just at the very beginning. We're just scratching the surface of these multi-agent scenarios. But CJ, I guess the next time we talk, you'll have some even more impressive demos to talk about these multi-agent scenarios.
So I think once again, I think what I see from the Singapore, all the Asia customer, like what you mentioned, that some customer they're just happy with hey, simply we taking that whatever data we have, either it can be live or offline, we share into the SharePoint. Either you're using that is something called the declarative Copilot. So I don't know whether we've got any of time like a Copilot extension, those scenarios. I think that some customer they're happy with that. I mean, so from their point of view, so all the data, which is actually they are eager to giving the customer as the self-services, okay?
Exactly.
Rather than operation report, okay? All the data is available within their boundary, okay? Simply you asking the chatbot, rather than using that in a static report. Why not you dynamically creating that report, then you interpreting data, which they can do, which is a chatbot is already fine. However, if you are thinking about, hey, beyond that, the simple chatbot, so this is a where, like what you mentioned, the single AI agent is still working fine. Okay, so it depends on you are able to extend it as the Azure AI search is fully supporting with the vector search. All the semantic searches is fine. But however, and the goal from the more complicated scenario where you're feeling that from the supply chain of view, rather than dealing with multiple supplier, dealing with the barriers of the performance view, so why not I creating the AI agent where I do have the orchestrate agent, then I triggering that supplier agent, the performance procurement agent. So they do the communicating the based on my instruction. They come up with that all the analysis, semantic analysis, and the sentiment analysis. This is going to be helping that a lot of the decision to the SAP business user. So in order to find out that the right answer for the SAP action. So from the wrapper point of view, I mean, once again, there are lots of the way from the Microsoft AI, we're providing that all our services, how to consume the SAP data. So either you can using that Copilot declarative AI agent, where you're using the Copilot Studio. You can still the trigger with all the Power Automate flow. Then you are able to using that the declarative agent. So if you want to using that extended more the functional way, so we do have the options of the Copilot extension where we plug in, and then you are able to using that particular data source in the functions. That is another way. And then, however, if you want to using the more the Azure AI native services, yes, you can still come with the Azure AI service, Azure AI services, where you are able to using that Azure AI SDK, where you can play around the more deep. So then you're able to reaching that multimodal, multi-agent, where you can pursuing that AI agent services for your SAP enterprise data.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. CJ, thank you so much for showing us the latest and greatest. I absolutely see that these multi-agent scenarios will become more and more visible to customers. I still think we're in an early stage, and I still think there are a lot of customers that are not yet ready to release this in a production scenario, but I also see a lot of customers starting to play with these integrations. And again, if we look back like 6 months, if we look in the future 6 months, there's so much happening. There's so much new stuff coming up. I'm sure that next time we'll talk, CJ, you'll have some even more impressive demos to show us.
All right, happy to sharing that all the information. So I'll be sharing that the GitHub repository. So
Yes.
if anyone is practicing that. So anyway, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to see the another conversation, Holger. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, CJ. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.